Chocolate. The word alone is enough to make your mouth water. That smooth, rich, melt-in-your-mouth sensation that millions of people crave every single day. But have you ever stopped to wonder what it takes to produce the chocolate bars lining store shelves around the world? Today, we're taking you inside one of the planet's most impressive chocolate factories, a colossal facility where over 1 million chocolate bars are produced every single day. From raw cocoa beans to perfectly wrapped bars ready for your enjoyment, this is a journey through chocolate paradise that will leave you absolutely amazed. The story of every chocolate bar begins thousands of miles away from the factory floor in the lush tropical regions near the equator where cocoa trees thrive. Picture this vast plantation stretching across the landscapes of West Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia, where the air is thick with humidity and the sun beats down relentlessly. Here, skilled farmers tend to cocoa trees that can take up to 5 years to produce their first harvest. These aren't ordinary trees. They're delicate, requiring just the right balance of shade, moisture, and nutrients to flourish. The cocoa pods, those large football-shaped fruits that grow directly from the tree trunks, are the precious cargo that will eventually become the chocolate we all love. Harvest season is a time of intense labor and careful precision. Farmers armed with long machetes navigate through dense groves, carefully inspecting each pod for ripeness. The color tells the story. A vibrant yellow or deep orange indicates the pods are ready, but timing is everything. Harvest too early and the beans inside won't have developed their full flavor potential. Wait too long and the pods might rot or attract pests. With expert eyes honed by years of experience, the farmers make swift, decisive cuts, freeing the pods from the tree without damaging the delicate trunk. It's backbreaking work under the scorching sun, but these farmers understand they're harvesting something extraordinary. Once collected, the pods are split open to reveal their hidden treasure. Inside each pod, nestled in a white, sticky pulp, are 30 to 40 cocoa beans. These beans are carefully extracted and gathered into large containers. But here's something fascinating. These raw beans don't taste like chocolate at all. In fact, they're incredibly bitter and astringent. The transformation from bitter bean to sweet chocolate is a journey of science, art, and time-tested tradition. The beans still covered in that sweet pulp are piled into large wooden boxes or wrapped in banana leaves for fermentation. This critical step lasts between 5 to 7 days, and it's where the magic truly begins. As the pulp breaks down, it generates heat, sometimes reaching temperatures of 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This heat triggers chemical reactions within the beans, developing the precursors to chocolate flavor. The beans change color from purple to brown, and their bitter edge begins to mellow. Workers carefully turn the beans every couple of days, ensuring even fermentation throughout the entire batch. It's a delicate dance between science and instinct passed down through generations. After fermentation comes drying, another crucial phase that can't be rushed. The beans are spread across large mats or raised platforms, left to bask under the tropical sun for 1 to 2 weeks. During this time, their moisture content drops from about 60% to just 7%. This reduction is essential. Too much moisture and the beans will develop mold during transport. The farmers rake and turn the beans regularly, ensuring they dry uniformly. As they dry, the beans develop even more complex flavor notes, setting the stage for the incredible taste that chocolate lovers crave. The dried cocoa beans are then carefully packed into large jute sacks, each weighing around 130 pounds, and prepared for their long journey. These sacks are loaded onto trucks, then ships crossing oceans and continents to reach chocolate factories around the world. But their voyage isn't over yet. Upon arrival at our mega chocolate factory, every single sack undergoes rigorous quality inspection. Nothing is left to chance. Samples are drawn and tested for moisture content, bean size, and any signs of mold or contamination. Expert tasters, yes. Chocolate factories employ professional cocoa tasters, evaluate the beans for their flavor potential. Only the finest beans, those meeting the factory's exacting standards, are allowed to proceed. The rest are rejected and sent back. Now, the real factory magic begins. The approved cocoa beans are unloaded from their sacks and poured into massive industrial hoppers. From here, powerful conveyor systems transport them to the cleaning station. You might think beans that have been dried and packed would be clean, but they often carry traces of dirt, small stones, and fragments of pod shells. The cleaning process uses a combination of powerful air jets and vibrating screens to remove every speck of debris. The beans tumble through the machinery. Lighter materials, like dust and shell fragments, are blown away, while heavier contaminants, like stones, fall through specialized grates. What emerges are pristine cocoa beans ready for their transformation. Next comes roasting, and this is where the chocolate factory becomes an artist's studio. The clean beans are fed into enormous rotating drum roasters, some capable of handling over 2 tons of beans at once. These industrial ovens maintain precise temperatures, typically between 250 and 350 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the desired flavor profile. The roasting time varies too, usually lasting between 30 to 120 minutes. During this crucial phase, the beans develop their characteristic chocolate aroma. The heat triggers hundreds of chemical reactions, creating the complex flavor compounds that make chocolate so irresistible. The factory's master roaster, a highly trained professional with years of experience, monitors every batch carefully. Temperature, time, and even humidity all play roles in achieving perfection. Too hot or too long, and the beans become burnt and bitter. Not enough heat or time, and the flavors won't fully develop. As the roasted beans emerge from the ovens, the entire factory fills with an intoxicating aroma, rich, deep, and unmistakably chocolate. But we're not done yet. The roasted beans still have their outer shells, thin, papery husks that need to be removed. The beans are fed into a machine called a winnower, which cracks them open and uses powerful fans to blow away the lightweight shells, while the heavier cocoa nibs, the edible part of the bean, fall through into collection bins. These nibs are pure cocoa, the foundation of all chocolate products. The cocoa nibs are then transported to the grinding area where industrial mills await. These aren't your kitchen food processors. These are massive machines with granite or steel grinding wheels that can process several tons of nibs per hour. As the nibs are crushed and ground, something remarkable happens. The friction and pressure generate heat, causing the cocoa butter naturally present on the nibs to melt. The solid nibs gradually transform into a thick flowing paste called cocoa liquor or cocoa mass. Despite its name, this liquor contains no alcohol. It's pure liquid chocolate in its most basic form. This cocoa mass is intensely flavored, still quite bitter but undeniably chocolate. Now here's where the factory's production splits into different paths. Some of this cocoa mass will be pressed to extract cocoa butter, the valuable fat that makes up about 50% of the cocoa bean. Enormous hydraulic presses exert tremendous force on the cocoa mass, squeezing out the golden cocoa butter, which is collected and stored in heated tanks. What remains after pressing are compressed cocoa cakes, which are ground into cocoa powder, used for baking and hot chocolate. But for our chocolate bars, we need both the cocoa butter and the cocoa mass, along with several other carefully selected ingredients. In the factory's massive blending room, the chocolate recipe comes together. Industrial mixers, some as large as small rooms, combine cocoa mass, cocoa butter, sugar milk powder, for milk chocolate and other ingredients according to closely guarded formulas. The exact proportions make all the difference between ordinary chocolate and exceptional chocolate. For milk chocolate, which represents the majority of production, the mixture typically contains around 30 to 40% cocoa solids, 20% milk powder, and the remainder sugar and cocoa butter. Dark chocolate bars have higher cocoa content and no milk powder, while white chocolate contains no cocoa solids at all, just cocoa butter, sugar, and milk. The mixture churns and blends inside these giant machines, but it's still far from the smooth, silky chocolate we know and love. If you could taste it at this stage, you'd find it grainy and rough on the tongue. That's because the sugar crystals and cocoa particles are still relatively large, detectable by your taste buds. This is where conching comes in, one of the most crucial and time-consuming steps in chocolate production. The term conching comes from the Spanish word for shell, because early conching machines had a shell-like shape. Modern conching machines are sophisticated pieces of equipment that can process tons of chocolate at once. Inside the conch, heavy granite rollers or metal blades continuously grind and knead the chocolate mixture. The machine maintains a carefully controlled temperature, usually between 130 and 180 degrees Fahrenheit, while the chocolate flows in endless circular patterns. This process can last anywhere from 4 hours for basic chocolate to over 72 hours for premium varieties. During conching, several transformations occur simultaneously. The grinding action reduces particle size to microscopic levels, typically under 20 microns, smaller than a human taste bud can detect. This creates that signature smooth, creamy mouthfeel. The heat and agitation also drive off unwanted volatile acids and moisture, mellowing harsh flavors and developing more complex taste notes. The constant movement further distributes the cocoa butter evenly throughout the mixture, ensuring perfect consistency. Walking past the conching machines, you can actually see and hear the chocolate's transformation. The mixture gradually changes from a thick, sluggish paste to a glossy, flowing liquid. The aroma evolves too, becoming deeper and more refined. Master chocolatiers periodically draw samples, testing the chocolate's viscosity and particle size. They're looking for that perfect moment when the chocolate has reached peak smoothness and flavor development. Rush this step and you'll have grainy, harsh chocolate. Take it too far and you can actually lose some of the delicate flavor notes. Once conching is complete, the liquid chocolate moves to the tempering area, and this is where science meets art. Tempering is the process of carefully manipulating the chocolate's temperature to encourage the cocoa butter to crystallize in a specific stable form. Cocoa butter is polymorphic, meaning it can crystallize in 6 different forms, but only one form 5 gives chocolate that perfect snap, glossy shine, and smooth texture. Without proper tempering, chocolate will be dull soft and prone to developing unsightly white streaks called bloom. The tempering machines are marvels of precision engineering. The chocolate is first heated to about 115 degrees Fahrenheit, melting all existing crystals completely. Then it's cooled down to around 81 degrees Fahrenheit, allowing stable crystals to begin forming. Finally, it's gently warmed again to about 88 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, melting away any unstable crystals while preserving the perfect Form 5 crystals. Throughout this process, the chocolate is constantly stirred and the temperature is monitored to within a single degree. Get it wrong and an entire batch can be ruined. The perfectly tempered chocolate now flows through heated pipes to the molding area, where the transformation from liquid to bar truly begins. Here, rows upon rows of metal molds march along automated conveyor belts, each one shaped to create the familiar chocolate bar form. Modern molding machines can fill hundreds of molds per minute with incredible precision. Streams of glossy chocolate pour into each cavity. Vibrating platforms shake the molds gently to remove any trapped air bubbles and scrapers, ensure each mold is filled to exactly the right level. Not a drop is wasted. Any excess chocolate is immediately recycled back into the system. And those orders come in constantly. Every day, trucks arrive at the loading docks ready to transport chocolate bars to distribution centers, retailers, and eventually to you. From this single mega factory, over 1 million chocolate bars embark on journeys around the country and across the globe, bringing moments of sweetness and yum to people everywhere. It's remarkable when you think about it. That simple chocolate bar in your hand represents the labor of cocoa farmers under tropical sun, the expertise of master chocolatiers, the precision of advanced machinery, and a production process refined over more than a century. So, next time you unwrap a chocolate bar, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey it took to reach you. From bean to bar, it's a testament to human ingenuity, dedication, and our enduring love affair with chocolate. If this sweet journey through the chocolate factory amazed you, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next factory adventure. And tell us in the comments, what's your favorite type of chocolate bar? We'd love to hear from fellow chocolate lovers around the world.